the heartbeat of your local area on DAB and online at durhamair.com.
Here for you, your family, and the rest of your community in County Durham.
Providing the public with what matters most.
Hot fashion trends and the political gossip.
Chris Pollard once attacked me with a crossbow.
This is Chris Pollard Live.
Yeah, feeling good on a Wednesday.
By gum, it's Wednesday night and you know what that means. It's time for Chris Pollard Live, a 14-karat gold dustbin of trivia, top tips and advice for you, your wife and her numerous head lice. Tonight's show has been based somewhat on the 2014 James Patterson novel East 54 Falkirk 5, and tonight we have had some script input by none other than local comic hero Neil Ballbag. We would not be here at all, however, were it not for the kind financial support from the show's sponsors, which tonight are Simon Pegg and Nick Frost return for one last hurrah in the time travel epic Cooking with Lentils. We are sponsored by Dirty Berties, Aycliffe's #1 stockists of top fashion brands, including Paste, Pascal Bovrel, Bungee Boobs and the Aromatic Ponce collection. Our final sponsor tonight is, as always, our friends over there at the Campaign for the Removal of Isosceles Triangles from Secondary School Mathematics Curriculum. Thank you to our sponsors tonight. There they are and there they go. As the weather hots up across the bedraggled, grisly face of our community, we experience many of this year's firsts. We catch our first whiff of the uncomparable scent of neighbour lighting barbecue. We hear the unmistakable sound of neighbour arguing with family about lack of burger buns, and the unfamiliar sight of neighbour lighting dressing gown belt on fire while distracted mid-argument. It's enough to make you forget there's a war going off. So it's time to jump tonight once again into a musical no man's land, which is sure to be rumbling away until 11 p.m. with help from the likes of Public Enemy, Björk, Drug Church, Death in Vegas, Do Nothing, The Clash, oh my goodness, along with your regularly scheduled community-driven interventions featuring Swap Shop, ongoing investigations and a longingly loving stare up the charts. But let's find out what's actually not happening on tonight's programme. Because on tonight's programme we will be interviewing via video call none other than Pope Frisbee IV, who now resides in a large bowl of chicken broth near Pontefract. We're going to be designing next year's most revealing prison wear and finishing tonight's programme with a tender, touching tribute to the star-studded career of County Durham pop diva Fingers Maloney, and I'll perform a cello-arranged cover of her hit, Kick My Dentures In. That's all not to come, really, later on tonight's programme. Did I say we were going to play some Clash?
Chris Pollard Live, the nation's leader in illegal hockey scandals.
Okay, let's just roll on with this, shall we? Welcome back to Chris Pollard Live. It is certainly Wednesday, my dudes, and you've just heard Rock the Casbah by The Clash, of course, and at the start of the programme, the fantastic Suggestions by System of a Down, one of my favourite bands ever. We need to feature them more on the show, but it's just picking what tune, you know. We've got a load of new tunes that you won't have heard before on the show today, along with a lot of new stuff and opportunities for you to win some cracking prizes here, as well as have the general surrounding area of your society improved permanently by the services on offer tonight. But it's time, first of all, to roll up and see if you have got what's the courage that it takes to answer our big question. And as always, we will be giving you a big question with your best suggestions, answers, thoughts and ponderments, going in with a chance to win our big question, big prize. And tonight's big question is, if you did have your tonsils removed, what do you honestly think they did with them afterwards? The prize tonight for your big question, the best suggestion or idea, will win a one-on-one sit-down dinner for two with County Durham's Prince of Karaoke, Donovan Legscab, any evening next week at his local Chinese buffet, as long as you pay. Still to come on the show, I'm going to be brushing up on my derogatory terms for left-handed people. But right now, before we progress to the adverts, we have got to clear up and place three little small things into the time capsule. The time capsule. The time capsule. Moving things around to this evening. We're just trying to freshen things up. But yes, here is a time capsule where we place three things into this loamy soft soil. Hopefully they will grow and inspire a new generation of artistically minded young cowboys in training. Yeah! Because going into the soil, partners. First of all, a can of Super Mario Brothers dog suppositories. In they go. Second up, the smell behind a bartender's earlobes. Come here. Yeah, in there, thank you. And finally, our third item within the time capsule, and our most important, the lyrics to the national anthem of Frankfurt, Das Sexy Trousers. In they go. Into the time capsule. I'll see you in 2028.
What we got to say? Fight the power. Come on. Yo, check this out, man.
Okay, talk to me about the future of Public Enemy. Future of Public Enemy got it.
This is a certified hood classic.
Woo! Welcome back to Chris Pollard Live. That was Fight the Power by Public Enemy. Before that ad break, you had Telepathic by Rose Hill Drive. And I hope you're having a decent enough evening wherever you're doing. I hope we can make that just a little bit better between now and 11 o'clock here on Durham on Air. Make sure you've got those answers coming in for the big question tonight. If you have had your tonsils removed, what do you honestly think they did with them after? If you want to get your suggestions through, by all means, please do so by texting studio plus your message to 88802. You can email studio@durhamonair.com, and by gosh golly indeed, you can tweet at Durham on Air if you fancy as well. We will be getting some of those answers read out, of course, with the best one being selected for the big question, big prize, that rare meal out with top karaoke star Donovan Legscab. But what we're going to do is tonight we're going to improve our societies, but first off, after this big question, it's time to see what's coming and what can go out and what can you get your hands on within the confines of our swap shop, indeed. Welcome to the swap shop, where some of your unwanted items are placed upon pedestals to be pondered at by passers-by and pedestrians. And if they want something, they might just reach out and grab it, but only if they've got what you want too. That's how it works here. We're all friends. Our first item here in the swap shop this evening on Chris Pollard Live comes from our old friend and long-time contributor, John Ragu. He is looking this evening to part ways with his collector's edition first print copy of Laser Quest for Dummies. He writes in to tell us this book is also indeed signed by four-time Laser Quest world champion, the American cyberwolf George Diagram. Now I'm officially retired from the UV-lit battle arena. I'm looking to settle down and read instructional books of a more relaxing and gentle sport, such as garden pinball, mosquito wrangling, or dog biscuit discus. Next up is an item from Erotic Elsie, who's provided us with a rather unusual and adult-themed swap shop opportunity. Elsie has, for the past half-century, been collecting a rather unique and eclectic number of Victorian pleasure items, which include, but are not limited to, a Cambodian plum vise, Botswana ball bats, Finnish knee hammers, rectal shoes, death feathers, and her particular favourite, the mattress of daggers. For this historic collection, Elsie, 92, is looking for a map of Cameroon, a parachute, a pair of rubber-bottomed Irish skis, and the whereabouts and location of Japanese business tycoon and on-the-run fraudster Jeff Turbulence. Finally, on Swap Shop, a remarkable submission from top local carpeting benefactor Woodrow Hercules. Woodrow is placing up for you to possibly take away, here tonight on Chris Pollard Live, his fiberglass prosthetic eyebrows, made one of a kind for him in Vietnam. They no longer serve a fashionable purpose to me since the return of the thinner brow. He has kept them in absolute mint condition by way of cleaning them with an extra strong tree boar before bed every night for the last 36 years. In return, Woodrow is looking to modernise his facial accessories and would like to swap his eyebrows out for a pair of fibre optic cheek dimples that support USB 3.0. If you can help out with any three of those swaps, please get in touch, studio@durhamonair.com, and we can make that happen overnight here on Chris Pollard Live. It's what we do. We're here for you. Some big question answers and a bit more after a little bit more music. Here's another new tune that you won't have heard on the show before because I put some money in my song purchasing account. So you've got quite a few new songs. Yeah, that's right. Here it is it's Do Nothing with LeBron James.
One step beyond.
Alrighty then. Welcome back to Chris Pollard Live. There was Drug Church with But Does It Work? It works for me. I love that. Before that you heard LeBron James by Do Nothing. And we have got some cracking music coming up tonight. Really I'm happy with the music. And I'm really happy that you're joining me once again on a day where the sun is actually out and shining down upon us for the first time in a while. Core blimey, isn't it something to behold? I don't think there's anyone on after me tonight, so this may be the end of the live entertainment on Durham on Air, and you might also be listening to the repeat, and in which case, go to bed, you're drunk. What we have got to do right now, before we move on to our second, and I'm sorry about this, our second advertisement break of tonight's show, it's time to reveal some of last week's winners.
Last week's winners.
We've just got a couple here that I'd like to clear up before that ad break. First of all, the winner of our monthly Dog the Bounty Hunter lookalike competition has once again been won by Sandra Clamp, 84 of Dandruff Avenue, who's holding on to this trophy for a startling 214th consecutive month. And she shows no signs of slowing down anytime soon. A truly superbly bearded and wonderfully fake-tanned queen of local competition. Colin Pregnancy has announced himself as the winner of last week's World's Saddest Listener Phone-In, after the harrowing news was revealed that his mum wasn't actually the drummer for UB40 after a lifetime of red-faced lies from his mummy. And we've still got 3 unclaimed prize tickets to see Wayne Lineker the musical at Sherburn Arts Complex. So if you are out there with the last 3 prize surnames, please do get in touch to claim them. And again, a reminder of those prize surnames were Tarantula, Bumrush, and Wisdom Droppings. If you have any of these surnames, get in touch now and claim those tickets. It's a prize after all. Here's Pins with Agoraphobe. I'll be back after the ads. See you soon.
Chris Pollard Live. My Uncle Wears a Wig. On DAB and online radio.
There was Ghost Town by The Specials. Before the ad break, you heard Agoraphobe by Pins. And it's Chris Pollard Live here on Durham On Air. It's Wednesday night, my dudes. We've still got an absolute chock-a-block crocker. Well, it's a crocker something tonight. All the way through till 11 o'clock. We've got tunes from Mr. Heavenly, Procol Harum, Ultimate Spinach, Free the Robots, and Beyond the Wizard's Sleeve. Didn't make any of them up. We released upon to the listening public tonight our big question, which was, what do you reckon they actually do with your tonsils when you've got rid of them? Doris has texted in to say, I asked for my tonsils back after they were removed, and I now sometimes use them as a nice alternative to cufflinks. Brian has texted in to say he reckons they just do something pervy with them. Suzanne has texted in to say that she reckons that they give them to a member of staff who either doesn't mind or actually quite likes the taste of them grilled with a bit of lemon and garlic. That does actually sound quite nice. And Neil M says that his tonsils couldn't be removed by 10 million Ramona plandemic doctors if they tried. Rule Britannia. We have a bit of music to attend to, but not before we experiment with a new feature here on Chris Pollard Live. By the way, if you want to get in touch and submit into the big question, maybe you think that your submission is better, you can text studio plus your message to 88802. You can email studio@durhamonair.com, and you can text studio plus your message to 88802. I've already said that. Tweet at Durham on Air, I don't know. You can do any of those. But right now, it's time to find out a bit more about the lives of celebrities, not on the grapevine, but with consent, as we find out some of our favourite celebrities' favourite things.
These are of their
A new celebrity segment debuted for us by none other than pop star Elvis Costello, who will be giving us a few of his favourite things, 5 of them to be in fact, which were picked at random by the Chris Pollard Live thing-generating apparatus. Elvis's favourite dog food, Win-A-Lot crunchy cat shapes. Elvis's favourite biblical character, Jeremiah of Milton Keynes. His favourite shoe polish is Darren's Angry Crab original shell buff. His favourite relative is his unfortunately late cousin, Truanting Steve. We're going to make the bed longer on this for next week. And his favourite cartoon character, of course, like mine, is the Kidney Bean Bandit. Join us next week for more top celebrities' favourite things, hopefully with some longer backing instrumentation. But right now, here's Chastity Belt with Drone.
Chris Pollard Live. These ain't your mama's false teeth.
Drone by Chastity Belt, really like that. 2015, Time to Go Home is the name of the album. No, it's not it's not a command. Hope you're doing alright wherever you are listening. Isn't the weather getting nice? That's the third time I've brought that up tonight. Well, you know, you gotta try and drag these things out. There's only so much you can put in Microsoft Word before you go mad. Plenty of good music. We've got a nice double header coming up just after this next little stupid thing I'm about to do. Hunter by Björk. Fantastic. From 1997's Homogenic. And we've got Tom Waits, Clap Hands. So we've got about 7 minutes worth of really, really good music coming up right now after your Top 5. Top 5 rejected villains for the new Batman film. Number 5, Mr. Toboggan Shoes. Number 4, Death by Cheesecake. Number 3, Mr. Muscle. Number 2, Mecha Les Dennis. But number 1, Dr. Slag. Chris Pollard Live. Cottage cheese. Alright, welcome back to Chris Pollard Live. There was Clap Hands by Tom Waits, and before that Hunter by Björk. Fantastic. We are now in the second half of the programme, which means it's not long to go now until it's bedtime for all of us. We've got lots to come, and I would at this point usually like to go over some of the TV highlights in Series Link, but there really isn't much going off by means of TV at the moment. It's all quite dry. So what I've done for this week's Series Link is I have rounded up 5 of my top 5 films in the cinema hitting screens currently. Series Link. Okay, thank you very much. So here on Series Link, there are no series, only films. In your top 5, what's on at the cinema right now? Straight in at number 5 at the top of the pile, it is a film that contains a staggering return to form by Hulk Hogan as he reprises Meg Ryan's classic role in an eye-watering reboot of When Harry Met Sally. Strong performances throughout, with Hogan particularly really giving it his all, but sadly I couldn't rank it higher than 5 as the amount of makeup used to disguise his moustache was at times quite distracting. At number 4, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Toast, an all-new Spielberg epic seeing our hero return in a quest to recover the final breakfast of the ancient Aztec god Madrastunans. Co-starring along a weary-looking Harrison Ford are hot young doses of fresh talent Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, Frank Lampard, and a guest role from Mr. Trestle Table himself, Harry Chin. In at number 3, John Travolta makes a great cameo comeback in this sequel to his 70s mega dance flick. People just can't stop spreading the good reviews to Saturday Night Measles. This wonderfully shot 8-hour religious spin on the Bee Gees-backed classic follows our lone dance bachelor, played this time to a T by Crabcakes McVitie, in the desperate throes of a tickly cough, which is then horrifyingly misdiagnosed as measles by a distracted GP, who is a remarkable character brought to life by none other than TV's Ainsley Harriott, with Donny Osmond featuring as the source of the Doctor's distraction, and a forgettable role from Philip Schofield playing that of the morally bankrupt fishmonger. In at number 2 is Clop Gun. At last, the powerhouses of Liverpool Football Club and Tom Cruise's intimate obsession with diving out of planes collide in dramatic, spectacular fashion. A retelling of their victorious recent Premier League campaign, set this time in the skies to the sounds of pompous British wartime brass music. Jurgen Klopp as himself is an inspired choice, making a fantastic general, with his wonderfully poised nemesis, Kate Blanchett, acted superbly by Val Kilmer. Gary Neville fails to impress, however, with his 25-minute-long snooker trick shot scene, which is why I couldn't give that a number 1, because number 1 this week goes to the near-perfect Care Bears 2, the rupturing of sanity and a proclamation of mutually assured destruction. A rather stark change from the successful format of the last Care Bears movie, Care Bears 2 places us in the tortured mind of a depraved sadist. Expect blood, guts, gore, sex, power tools, and human-hating bees. It's a disgusting triumph of socially aware art cinema with standout performances coming from Jean-Claude Van Damme as Twinkle Bear and Sharon Osbourne as Uncle Turkey Neck. Those are the top 5 films, in my opinion, right on in the cinemas right now. Go out and catch them, and make sure you don't catch anything else. Still to come, we've got some travel news for you. We've got World Record Weekly and a couple of other bits and bobs. Alright, welcome back to Chris Pollard Live. There was Ovlov with Really Bees, and before that, a nice little instrumental tickle from the Gaslamp Killer. There was The Cat's Meow from 2020's Heart Math. It's just heading up to 10:15 now, which means that we do have to get our third of 4 ad blocks out of the way. I am very sorry about that. But 10:15 means also that it's time for us to quickly round up the traffic and travel news in your area.
Chris Pollard Live, traffic and travel.
Okay, well, this is the up-to-date traffic and travel news we have here at the Chris Pollard Live Traffic and Travel News Centre. If you are planning to head westbound to Wales this weekend, why? You can indeed tweet at Durham on Air. What we're going to do right now is something quite exciting, pals, because it is something that we haven't done for quite some time here on Chris Pollard Live. But we have had, I have had 3 little nudges this week about some of the certain records that have been broken. So let's say welcome back to our old friend, World Record Weekly.
Yeah, what's up? You're listening to World Record on Chris Pollard Live.
Well, I need to change that. We'll try that again, shall we?
Yeah, what's up? You're listening to World Record Weekly on Chris Pollard Live.
Okay, welcome to Chris Pollard Live World Record Weekly, a roundup of some of those record-breaking attempts and feats that have taken place over the last weeks. First up, poisonous Bob Layfield, aka the Human Drainpipe, has finally broken his own speed disgusting food eating record, drinking 18 pints of processed Brussels sprouts in just less than 3 minutes. He beat his nearest rival on the day, turpentine Tommy Gherkin, in a rather tense final, but Tommy was forced to surrender after succumbing to an oversized helping of his own signature mix of beef dripping, chicken giblets, strawberries and full-fat cream. He was only 2 pints under the current record at that time, which of course was then smashed by poisonous Bob Layfield, aka the Human Drainpipe. I'm absolutely delighted with the record, Bob told us from his bed in intensive care earlier this morning. The land speed record for an unassisted jacket potato was also broken this weekend at the Darnish Speedway, following a rather brutal disagreement over the Bayer tapestry unfolded in a nearby kitchen. And finally here on World Record Weekly, Brodsworth Man Beef is the proud recipient of his first world record after his dazzling attempt at holding the most forged £20 notes in a leather wallet at any one time. His record was collected on the day by distraught wife Sarah, and a photograph of his Guinness World Record has been slipped under his cell door, along with some cigs and some cornflakes. That's all we have on World Record Weekly. Let's maybe do that again sometime, and maybe not. It's time for a bit more music. Here is that ultimate spinach song I keep going on about. Here's Gilded Lamp of the Cosmos. I'll see you in a few minutes here on Chris Pollard Live, where we continue to strive.
This is Chris Pollard Live. Radio for Wasps. Welcome back to the Lorraine Kelly program.
It's Chris Pollard Live. You've just heard Diary by Free the Robots. I really liked that. Really liked that. I only heard that sort of in the car and to check it for swear words earlier. But with the headphones on full blast, yeah, rocking that. That's getting added to the playlist. Yes, there is a Chris Pollard Live playlist now available on Spotify. The Chris Pollard Live Ultimate Bad Boy Tunage Collection. Over 47 hours. 47 hours of the my favourite songs that were played, that have been played over the last going on 2 years here at Durham On Air. Doesn't time fly when there's a pandemic outside? We have got our last ad break that we've got to get to very sort of soon. I'm sorry about that. We've got a bit more new music for you before that. And even before that, we've got a few things to place into the Chamber of Shame.
The Chamber of Shame.
And going into the Chamber of Shame this week here on Chris Pollard Live. First up is a folded map of former Leningrad. Next up is Rishi Sunak's pocket ashtray. A CD containing recordings of Terry Wogan verbally abusing a toast rack. And a Birmingham-based birdwatcher's bum bag in navy blue.
Later on in the epilogue they found
Alright, welcome back to Chris Pollard Live. It's nearly all over. There was Procol Harum with A White Shade of Pale. I played that song not only because it's brilliant, but because it was announced on Masterman the other day, and they didn't get it, and I got it, and I was well impressed because I had no idea where that came from. And I was going through my library today. Oh yeah, that's where I know that song from. I bought it for the radio show. It's going to be the end of tonight's live entertainment at 11 o'clock. We're going to have Durham After Dark, so it's just going to be some nice tunes to play you through into the wee small hours of the morning. We've still got a few tunes here left on Chris Pollard Live, along with this small little section here, where we just take a look at two of the current County Durham ongoing investigations. County Durham ongoing investigations. Because on the 27th anniversary, which has just come, of the great Newcastle flip-flop scandal, we do tonight look into Inspector Sergeant Parsnip's long-running investigation into that very fateful day. And we have an investigation currently being undertaken as to exactly why Peter Beardsley was seen giggling menacingly in a Tyneside chip shop wearing the very same pair of semi-flaccid beach footwear and fleeing 3 hours before the first major public incident. If you have any more information about this or Leeds, stick to information, because Leeds is miles away and has got nothing to do with this at all. Meanwhile, on the other side of our ongoing investigations, Redcar police are puzzled as to why car boot sales are enticing some of the world's top A-list superstars. There must be a catch, one police officer told us, after allegedly seeing Will Smith haggling for a pair of old denim shoes and then securing a mere £5 bargain deal for a horse brass, an old teapot and a bag of marbles. Also spotted grabbing bargains in local car boot sales were celebrities Barbra Streisand, Joe Pasquale, Joe Rogan, Salman Rushdie and Darren Corncob. These were, of course, according to the reports made by short-sighted Beat Bobby PC Cataract. If you can help with either of those ongoing investigations, do get in touch. There's still time to do so tonight. Or indeed get your emails over, ready for next week's show. You can email any of the other DJs at any point, and they'll know exactly what you're talking about. I would prefer it if you did that, actually. Email them and tell them. Tell them I sent you. When? Now. But how soon is that, you know? Thank you very much for joining me tonight here for another Chris Pollard Live. I'll be back on Saturday night for Guppy Dance Floor at 10 p.m. all the way through to midnight. But until then, you take care of each other. It's a crazy old world out there, and we don't need more horrible stuff, do we? Good night, everybody. Sleep tight. Don't let the creatures come in through the window.